Hey there.
Hello.
Welcome to Facebook Live.
I just noticed my other arm is off screen over here.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to do this one.
Yeah.
Great. One-armed son, huh?
Yeah. How you doing tonight? Hope everything's going okay. Getting ready for the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
We have a solar eclipse happening on Monday, just about, maybe 150 miles north of here is the total eclipse.
Totality.
Yeah,
Totality.
Totality.
Yeah.
And so I understand all the entire freeway. They were telling me at work that they saw pictures of the freeway heading north, and it was bumper to bumper. I mean, a parking lot. Everyone's bolting to try to get up there and get their spot. And
Well, I mean, I was trying to commute home from Salt Lake City today, and the traffic. It makes sense now because at first I was like, "What is up with all this traffic?" Because I mean, it was just bumper to bumper the whole way. So it's all the people coming from way down south to go all the way up to Wyoming.
Well, even
and
people here.
Idaho.
I had one of my guys at work that I had at least two of them that were gone. They left today to start heading up to Idaho to go see the total eclipse.
So have extra gas.
Down here, they say you have to have extra food, extra water, extra gas in your car.
It sounds like the Great Depression all over again.
Yeah, it's like you get up there in Idaho and all the service stations are going to run out of gas, filling up everybody.
Start having to do gas rations.
So anyway, down here in where I'm at, it's only going to be like 93%.
But I mean,
which is still pretty good. But they say it's very special. You get a total eclipse, and what happens is you see the corona, you see the way the light hits the moon. It looks like there's little dots on the moon.
I've also heard that you can see the kind of the flares around the side.
Right, because you see
the rings and flares coming out from the side of it.
You can see the stars.
If I had planned this out as far as some people, I mean, the hotels and stuff are booked out. They've been booked for like 2 years.
Interesting. I got my hair cut today, and when I was getting my hair cut, one of the guys was saying that this lady that he knew, her son was in there just getting cut, I guess. This lady had reserved a hotel in Idaho 3 years ago so that she could be there for the total eclipse. And then the guy called her on the phone. The hotel was $140 a night. Mm-hmm. They don't have you pay until it's time, right? And he called her back and said, "Oh, well, due to demand, it's now $1,000 a night."
And she probably still paid it.
Well, actually, I think she was going to small claims or something.
Oh, because of the contract violation.
Well, but it wasn't that she's going to lose because hotels don't do that.
No, that's not a locked-in price.
It's just a reserve. It's not a paid for.
No, absolutely.
If she'd have paid for it, then that would have been a different deal.
Prepaid, yeah. She should have prepaid.
I don't know.
That's what she should have done.
I wouldn't have $1,000 to give to that.
No, but I would have prepaid at the $140 a night 3 years ago.
I don't think they let you prepay. Hotels don't do that.
Well,
anyway, so hope that's going to be kind of exciting around here.
It is.
So, but we're going to get started. We have a limited time today. I'm not going to have as much time. I'm going to try to be done at 8:15. I need to run off. My mom's in the hospital, and I haven't seen her for a couple of days. I've been calling her all the time, and I told her I would come down and see her today. So
she had some major surgery, so we wanted to go see her.
Yeah, she's doing better, so things will probably improve. So let's go ahead and get started. What do we got?
Okay. Well, this first one from Cindy is quite a monologue here. So let's see if we can sift through it.
All right.
Questions. She says, "I actually messaged you before, but I've seen this, and you're welcome to use it. Love your family photo. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Here's my question. I noticed my aunt's account that it shows she needs to be sealed to her parents again, even though she's already been sealed to them. There are 2 sealing ordinances for her and her same parents listed under ordinances. One that's done and one that needs to be done. So I guess she's saying there's already been a sealing performed for both spouse and to parents, but it's showing that those both need to be performed again.
But it says that there are 2.
There's a date.
2 sets of parents and 2 sets of spouses.
Well, she said there are 2 sealing. No, it just says her and her same parents. So it's just the parents. It shows one completed sealing that she knows of, and then it also shows another one that needs to be done.
Okay.
So I thought there would be duplicate for her, but I can't find it. It says there's a notice in blue that says sealing is valid, but because of privacy or parents that don't match, another sealing is listed, and it's listed from her same parents who both passed away. She wants to know, why is this happening? How can we correct it?
Well, hold on. This is her aunt?
Yeah.
And she's living?
It actually did not
She logged in as her aunt, so she's probably living.
Probably, yeah. She did say on my aunt's account, which I would assume would mean her aunt's living. I'm probably trying to help out family there. I've noticed on a couple other family members as well, so apparently this is widespread across our tree. I have some family who don't get on family tree very often, but when they do, they're drawn to this work that supposedly needs to be done, so it'd be nice if we could correct it so they're not worried that it still needs to be done.
Well, first off, and this is who? Cindy?
Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy, first off, I don't know if I remember a specific email from you, but please send me another email. I need to have the PID of your aunt or the account of your aunt, the username of your aunt, and I need to have maybe that'll be good enough for me to find it.
Yeah.
So, username will do it, and then I'll look at that. There's a couple of reasons why this may be the case. One is we don't show living ordinances in family tree right now. So if you are sealed to your spouse and your spouse is deceased, it will not show that they're sealed to you. It'll say that person needs a sealing. Okay. Because we don't expose living spouses. The idea for family tree for privacy reasons is anything involving a living person, we don't show it. We show it as if it doesn't exist. So, for instance, my mom is alive, but my father is deceased. And if you go look at my father, it shows that, first off, it doesn't show that he has a spouse, except when my mom logs in and looks, then she would see that she's a spouse, but it'll say you need to do this. It will say there's no sealing. So that's one reason. The other reason that you mentioned was you have something like, let's see, let me just draw it up here. So you may say sealing to spouse. So the one was her parents. So she wouldn't see a sealing the parent to them, but her parents, she sees one that says no parents in it, but it's done, and then another one that says it needs it. So sealing to spouse.
Well, so she says she needs to be sealed to her parents again, even though she's already been sealed to them.
Yeah.
So it's not that there's a sealing.
No. She says there's a sealing to parent that says done, and then there's another one that has the listed parents.
The same parents as here.
And then it has a sealing to parent, and it has mother and father.
Yeah.
And this is the ordinance tab. Okay. So this is the case. This is what's going on here. So I think this is what she's saying. I'm on the ordinance tab of a person, and on the ordinance tab it says sealing the parents completed, and then it'll say sealing the parents, mother and father. And this is the mother and father. And the reason why, there's two reasons why you may see a sealing to parent that doesn't have a date and a place. And this is green right here. So this is, do it. That's what she's saying. This may even have a date or a place. It doesn't matter. This can have a date when it was done. So the reason why, let me make sure I get the angle here. The reason why you would see both is for a couple of reasons. One, this sealing the parent, when it was entered into the system, we also, when we enter in ordinances, we also enter in the people. We create people way back at the beginning when we created this thing. We created a mother and father. So one reason this may happen is because there's a duplicate mother and a duplicate father somewhere. Going and looking for the duplicate aunt isn't going to work. You got to look for a duplicate mother and a duplicate father and merge them together, and that will cause this line to go away and the mother and father to be displayed up here. Another reason why this could happen is that there was a time frame in the past where sealing to parent, by the way, is a individual ordinance. Okay, meaning the ordinance is like baptism and confirmation. Sealing to parent goes on the child. It's not a parent thing. It's a child thing. Okay, and there was a period of time where sealing to parent was recorded by membership records. Okay, this is in the past. Well, the problem is membership records only maintain the recent set of parents. So, for instance, they did not record what set of parents were done at that time. If this was in membership, they didn't record which set of parents.
Yeah,
they just record a sealing parent was done. Now, I thought we fixed this. Yeah, if you find the duplicate mother and the duplicate father, and you merge them together, merge the two mothers and two fathers, this will go away, and the mother and father will show up here. Because what we do is, if you have one with the names, we'll show those in lieu of the one that just says completed. Because that's not very satisfactory, right?
Sure.
Now, if you're having trouble finding the mother and the father, submit a support case. Give them the PID of this mother and father, and let's see. If we're on a person's that's the aunt, it'll never. If it's showing completed, you must be on a dead person because we don't show living. So it must be on a dead person, and they're not sealed to their parents. So give them the PID of the dead person and the parents' names and PIDs, and they'll go in and look and see the ordinance, this ordinance, and when it was completed.
Yeah.
And then they'll go find that ordinance on some person, and they'll be able to, from that ordinance, look up and find out what mother and father that ordinance is connected to.
Okay. So in a nutshell, the problem is not in the child's thing.
No,
it's there's
duplicate
multiple
parents. There's duplicate parents. If you can't find them, then they have ways to take the ordinance and go find the parents that are on the ordinance. And then they'll just merge them together. They'll merge the two mothers and merge the two fathers.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's how you solve that one.
So
If you have more questions,
in a nutshell, Cindy, if you have specific questions or what we just said didn't make sense, just send him another email or send us another message, and we'll try and get.
Or send it to my email, ron@familysearch.org, and then I'll take a look at it, and then I'll send you email.
Yeah, give you a little bit more specific.
Little specifics for your case.
Okay, perfect. So our next question comes from Samantha. She says, on the person page, is it possible to print the descendancy chart from View My Ancestor, from the View My Ancestor tab? Not only would this be convenient, but it would be a great visual in helping people understand what descendancy research is. So her thing is, she says she's a temple and family history consultant. She's preparing lessons to take into homes of individuals. She wants to do this before they even get on the computer. She wants to sit down with a printed copy of Descendancy View.
Yeah,
she can't seem to figure out how to do that.
I don't even know if we printed it. The only way to print a descendancy, I think, is to do a
dialogue
control print,
So in that case, what it is you're relying on your browser to print it. So you could theoretically do that.
Pull up Family Search here.
Okay, let's see.
And let's go to descendancy. I don't think we have a print button there.
This is a new one. I don't know if we've ever done this live. Look at it while we're doing it.
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times. Not very often.
I haven't.
It's new for you, but I'll help you.
It's new for me. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I get lost sometimes.
Yeah, like you got to enter a correct password. You must have changed it.
I did.
You didn't change it in your little keeper.
No, I didn't. I didn't change it for the app. I had problems with my LDS account the other day, and I needed to update my password. Okay, so what we're doing.
Go to Family Tree. Go to the tree.
Yeah.
And then go up a few generations.
Yep.
Click it and swap it, and poof.
And poof. There it is, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Poof. Okay, so we'll go.
Just pick one of those.
William.
Go to tree. New tree. And then pick this one.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we don't have a print. So the only way you can print is do what I would do if you're going to just show names. You don't really need the portraits and all that kind of stuff. Is I would check off all those things off on the side under the show, so that it collapses the descendancy really tight.
Mm-hmm.
You just get just a name.
I have another idea.
And then you can do control print and print.
The other idea I had is if you don't want all the other stuff on your screen, you can do a screenshot. Yeah. But you can have somebody help you with your specific computer. Everything's a little different on how you do a screenshot.
Control print or screenshot really kind of does the same thing.
So all a screenshot does is allow you to draw a box around a specific region on your screen and take a photo of it that you can then print, just using a standard dialogue. So
yeah, we don't have that. I don't know if we have. I'll have to make a note myself. I don't think we have any plans right now. See, we
want me to write that down?
Look
at that. We even got to the point where he's writing himself a note here.
Yeah, so you don't have to.
It's a heavy-duty question, evidently.
No, I just don't want to bother you and Tegan to do that anymore.
All right.
Okay, let's have the next one.
Okay. The next question is from Carl. He says he strongly appreciates the ability to attach sources from index material. This is a multi-pronged question. This is, 1, for those cases where the indexing may have misread the image, could you consider a future capability to add additional corrected content to an indexed record? It's a two-pronged.
Well, there's one. I can answer that. What's the two-pronged?
The second one is, when using our own created sources, for instance, and not yet indexed image, is there a way to change the title for just one of the people that is attached? Gives an example, which is Michael Ritter in Pennsylvania Obituaries. Currently, if the title is changed on one, it appears to change in all of them, leading to clunky, misleading titles on others' detailed pages.
Yeah. So let me explain how that source works. So when you create a source, here's a source, and it has a title, a URL, a citation, and a note. And here's the person 1 and person 2. If you take the exact same source and you attach it to that person, and you also attach it to that person, then it's the exact same source that you're attaching. So if you change the title from title 1 and you change it to title 2, well, when this thing displays sources, it just comes up here and looks and so plays title 2. And this one looks and displays title 2. So if you want to take this source and you want to change the title, you actually want another source. Okay? So there's a real quick way to do that. So let's say title 1, and I'm sitting here like this. And you create it. When you create that source, and let's say you even attach it to somebody, whether you created that source or not, you can go into your source box underneath your name. You can find source box, and you'll see this source. And you can click that source. You can select that source in the source box, and there's a duplicate button. So you click duplicate, and it'll create another one, exactly the same with a title, except it adds a little something that says duplicate, copy of, and then it gives the title.
Yeah.
And then you hook that one to that person, and then you go edit this title to be whatever you want.
So then, in essence, in your source box, you might have 10 of the same thing.
Well, it's the same URL, citation, and note, but the title's different.
Okay.
And maybe your note is different because you're talking about a different person.
So it's that duplicate button.
Yeah. So you go into if you've attached it to a person, and if somebody else has attached that source to that person, and you want to put it on another person, and you want to change the title, then you can just go to a person, open the source, and then there's a add to my source box. When it adds it to your source box, we add a duplicate to it. We copy it and make a new one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when people are doing that, they want to change the title to refer to the other person. So that's two ways that you can get a duplicate. You create a duplicate, everything's the same, and then just change your title and you're good.
Did you manage to answer his first question, which was
when you change
corrected information to an indexed record?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that one. So we recognize the need for that. A lot of people have asked for corrected index to be able to update and correct indexes. And also, by the way, so yes, we've actually working on it.
Okay.
There's a team that have been created for the last 6 months. They've been doing designs and analysis and going out and interviewing people and asking me what people are saying. And I'm passing on all these things that you want.
Yeah.
And they're finally done and ready to go to the first phase of actual development. And we're all helping each other. I've dedicated half a dozen people to help them out, and we're also going to take a bunch of their work so that we can help them do it. And it's the work we're doing will include the ability to update indexes, family search indexes even.
Mm-hmm.
And we also want to make it so when you do your own source, let's say you upload a memory image of a picture of something a picture of a record, and you upload it and you make a memory source, we're going to allow you to index that memory source.
Okay.
So that thing can be found, and also so that you can use the data you pulled off that record as a way to attach it and tag it and all sorts of stuff. So we're just barely getting started, so we don't have a date. I'm sure it's going to be a ways out. It's not going to be any this year and probably not next year. So I can't give you any dates because they're just barely starting. We have a bunch of projects with them to sit and analyze to see what it would take. So yes, we're finally in starting this up, and we'll work on that. So it's coming, but it's going to be a little ways, but we are working on it.
Okay. All right. So Kathy asks, please explain how we do or do not do temple work for spouses, parents, siblings, etc. Visual examples would be helpful.
She trying to figure out what's appropriate or inappropriate. Is that what you're saying?
The question literally
Start
says,
the question.
word for word, please explain how we do or do not do temple work for spouses, parents, siblings, etc.
All right. So let me.
Visual examples would be helpful.
All right. So I went off and I read all the policies and I've talked to people that are experts at it, and I've come up with a general rule of thumb that you can apply to see whether or not you can do the temple work for this particular person. Okay. So let me let me drop a few things.